Hey everyone, this is Phil from TheCubicle. I'm making this video on my own today, so I won't have too much fancy editing. Instead, as always, I'm going to make this video as clear, informative, and funny as possible. Let's get started. Unlike many recent DaYan releases, the TengYun V2 actually comes with a lot of useful goodies. You get two pamphlets, one a cube tutorial, while the other contains instructions on how to use the features. In addition, you get two screwdrivers, one flathead for the magnet system, and one Phillips for regular tensioning. You also get a double-sided adjustment tool to compress the springs. Speaking of springs, DaYan puts two more sets in there so you can interchange if you want. Last but not least, you get the cube itself. Let's take a closer look. Corner cutting is fantastic, both forward and backward. The corners carry DaYan's interestingly cool wave design, which is said to be one of the reasons the cube is so quiet and soft. Aside from those two words to describe the feel, I'd also throw in quick and clean. There aren't too many obstacles or bumps when you turn. At the same time, the turning still has a clarity to it. The cube keeps you aware that you're making the moves you're making, and transitions between moves feels good. Now let's take a look at the features, starting with the adjustable magnets in the edge pieces. DaYan's magnet system works like a lazy Susan, you know, the ones where you can find in some restaurants? Essentially, it's a rotating circular tray carrying 3 magnets instead of your favorite foods. You can use the flathead screwdriver to rotate the tray. The magnet near the vertex of the edge is the one that's going to be in use. There are 3 settings. 1 is strong, 2 is medium, and 3 is light. I like how easily visible the numbers are. They're nice and big and stand out well on the silver magnets against the transparent blue backdrop. Another good thing is, adjusting one side of the edge adjusts the other side as well, so all you need is 12 simple actions to change magnetism. Now let's see what's under the center cap. And you know what? It's pretty epic. It's a hexagon on top of an octagon. These two structures, both blue, are responsible for adjusting tension and spring elasticity. Let's start with tension. The TengYun V2 lets you control tension in 2 different ways. The first should be familiar. You can use the Phillips screwdriver to tighten and loosen the cube. If you do this, make sure you don't overdo it, as that can damage the parts. The other way to adjust tension is to go with one of the 4 options present on the hexagon. The options are 0.6, 0.8, 1.0, and 1.2, and can be adjusted using the thinner end of the adjustment tool. If you look hard enough, the screw actually has a little protrusion that hooks onto a notch for any given setting, which is pretty cool. The higher you go on this, the greater your corner cutting and flex will be. Spring elasticity is controlled by the octagon, which you can change using the wider end of the adjustment tool. The options are 0, 0.5, 1.0, and 1.5. Here, the trick is to find the little triangles. Each hexagon has 2 of them. These triangles will have vertices that point directly towards the octagon. These are your elasticity indicators. Simply use the wider end of the adjustment tool to adjust to the setting that you want. DaYan threw a lot of cool options at us with this TengYun V2 release, so I've spent a considerable amount of time experimenting with the settings. So far, I like my magnets at 2, tensions at 0.8, and my elasticity at 0.5. This makes my cube somewhat firm and controllable while keeping the classic TengYun smooth feel. For lubes, I recommend Cubicle Weight 5, Angstrom Gravitas, and DaYan. This is very similar to how I lubed my old main, the TengYun V1. From a performance standpoint, I do quite like the TengYun V2. Even though it's not ultralight, the cube moves very easily. Its smooth, quiet nature is also very unique and pleasant. I really enjoy cubing on the TengYun V2. I do, however, have mixed feelings on the product design. The tension and elasticity features are cool, but the settings are quite hard to see. I know DaYan is capable of making easy to see settings because they did that with the magnets. Honestly, the tension and elasticity features can get a little frustrating because they're both numbers with decimals and blend in with the blue background. I feel like I need to be in a pristine lighting environment to see them. That and finding the little triangles and then a vertex is another task. Perhaps it would have been easier for the user to have different colors or indicators that are not numbers, like shapes or letters. Despite these small design-related things, the cube is, at the end of the day, a good cube. DaYan has shown us that it's still strong in the game. I think the TengYun V2 is going to impress a lot of cubers, and the fact that it's so highly adjustable makes it even safer to recommend. As always, I hope you guys found this video enjoyable. This has been Phil. Take care, and see you on the next one.